Yep, another day here with Gold and Blue Dude. Hey, don't forget, if you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. On our way to 5,000 subscribers, but cannot do it without you. What a crazy bowl season it's been so far, and we're only about halfway through. It's been insane. We've had cancellations, swaps, blowouts, and upsets, and we're not even close to being done with the bowl season. First, let's talk about the cancellations. The Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii couldn't field enough healthy players. The Arizona Bowl. Boise State couldn't field enough healthy players. The Holiday Bowl. UCLA couldn't field enough healthy players. The Military Bowl. Boston College couldn't field enough healthy players. And of course, the Fenway Bowl. Virginia couldn't field enough healthy players. And then there was a couple of bowls that had swaps. The Gator Bowl. Texas A&M had to pull out of the Gator Bowl. In comes Rutgers. 5-7 Rutgers. So it's going to be Rutgers against number 17 Wake Forest. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a blowout. Really. Wake Forest is by far the superior team, but this is a crazy bowl season, so it wouldn't surprise me if Rutgers pulled off one of the biggest upsets in bowl history. Then there's the Sun Bowl. The Hurricanes, Miami, they had to pull out. In comes Central Michigan, who was supposed to play in the Arizona Bowl, and these bowls are closely located together, so it was an easy trip for them. So in the Sun Bowl, it's going to be Central Michigan versus Washington State. That might actually be a pretty good game. Quick thought on the cancellations. 3 of those cancellations involved AAC teams who could field players. In other words, it was their opponent that had to pull out. But after the cancellations, they declared that their seasons were over. They didn't want to be spotted in another bowl. I don't know if that was a good move or not. That's losing a lot of money for your school and for your conference. And I get it. Logistics probably would have been a nightmare. Your players were prepared to play this team, then they would have to prepare to play that team. They would move from here to there. I know, that would be crazy, but that's a big loss of revenue, so I'm not quite sure if that was the best decision for those 3 AAC teams. Moving on to blowouts. What I classify as a blowout is somebody getting beat by 20 or more points. Other people say 2 or more touchdowns, 10 or more. Me, it's 20 or more points. And so far, we've had 6 of those. 6 blowouts. The first one, the Boca Raton Bowl. Western Kentucky beat Appalachian State 59-38. Now, I know eventually the line flipped to Western Kentucky, but originally, Appalachian State was a slight favorite. No, this was a complete blowout. Western Kentucky dominated the other Mountaineers because West Virginia is the real Mountaineers. 59-38, that's a 21-point win for the Hilltoppers. Next blowout, Lending Tree Bowl. Liberty dismantles Eastern Michigan. This was not an upset. This was just a downright whooping. 56-20. That is a 36-point blowout. Next up, the Camellia Bowl. Georgia State surprisingly blew the brakes off of Ball State. 51-20. Next blowout is the Quick Lane Bowl. Western Michigan blows out Nevada, and I do think that Nevada was the opening line favorite. Maybe it switched over to Western Michigan because of the bettors. If so, those are some smart bettors because Western Michigan blew out Nevada 52-24. That is a 28-point blowout. This next blowout surprised a lot of people. Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State against Texas Tech. The Red Raiders blow out Mississippi State, and Mississippi State was like a 10-point favorite. Texas Tech wins 34-7. That is a 27-point blowout. That was a big shocker for me. And finally, the Pinstripe Bowl. I actually kind of predicted this one because I thought Maryland had the much better offense over Virginia Tech. That's exactly what happened. Maryland blows out Virginia Tech 54-10. That's a 44-point blowout. And finally, the upset category. And the way that I classify an upset is a team favored by 6 or more points getting beat. So there were 5 games where the team that was favored by 6 or more points has gotten beaten so far. By the way, this video was taped before the South Carolina-North Carolina game was over. So we might be adding to some of this stuff after that game is done. And the rest of the day. The first upset, the Bahamas Bowl. Middle Tennessee upsets Toledo 31-24. Toledo was a 10.5-point favorite. That's a pretty significant upset. Moving on to the Independence Bowl. UAB upsets number 13 BYU 31-28. BYU was a 6-point favorite. Honestly, I thought BYU would be a bigger favorite. But anyways, either way you slice it, UAB with the upset there. Next upset, the LA Bowl. Utah State upsetting Oregon State 24-13. Oregon State was a 6.5-point favorite, and Oregon State got humiliated. Next upset, which I called this one, the Gasparilla Bowl. UCF upsets Florida 29-17. Florida was the 7-point favorite. I was wondering why the line opened up for Florida. That didn't make any sense. UCF was clearly the better team, and they proved it. And finally, the last upset, I've already talked about it, the Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State getting upset by Texas Tech 34-7, and Mississippi State was a 10-point favorite. So they were a pretty significant favorite, and they got blown out. That's two negatives all into one bowl. That's a bad bowl experience for Mississippi State. I'm sure there's plenty of craziness yet to come, but there's your craziness so far for this bowl season. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.